Right. Does anyone have a question?
I do.
Yes.
In doing this work, what how what happens to all of the thoughts and feelings that we repress?
Excuse me.
So, what happens to all of the thoughts and feelings that we repress on a day-to-day basis when we engage in this work over time?
What happens to them?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully your mind gets quiet, your emotions get quiet, you see life more clearly, you're able to make better choices in your life. You're able to fulfill cycles and see reality in a much more profound way, other than, you know, the stuff that just goes on in your head. And I think the purpose of this is to become a more conscious person living in the world. And people fill up their minds and heads with all kinds of stuff. Some of it is very good, and a lot of it is just a lot of tension. And, to get the quiet mind, what kind of miracle that is in the kind of world that we live in, to live every day with a quiet mind, to live every day with your heart open, with love. I mean, it's a pretty good exchange with the tension that runs rabid in people's heads and creates 95% of the problems, that we encounter, not only in our daily lives, but in the entire world. Mostly, it's it's just a combination of people's tension that creates all of the insanity that goes on. People don't learn how to keep their minds quiet, how to keep, and more importantly, keep their hearts open so they can interact with life with love, with compassion, with patience, forgiveness, and even interact with themselves, not only just the external world, but themselves, treat themselves that way. So, yes, there are things that we think about that, and they're very good, they're good things. Uh, but between the mind and the thoughts we have and what becomes reality, there's a huge void. And generally, the things that are really positive to become real in our life, we have to get overcome ourselves. We have to get ourselves quiet so that these thoughts can manifest as activity in the world. If we don't get ourselves quiet, it's just a jumble of tension that we spew out at life. And it doesn't even matter how good our thoughts are. I mean, look at all these politicians with democracy and this and freedom, and then they get elected, and what goes on in the world? It's the same old crap. If they would just quiet themselves inside and just get centered and balanced and truly live with open hearts, these things can become reality. But it's very hard to get people to do that. So yes, we do have thoughts that are very positive and good thoughts. But for them to become part of our lives, we have to free ourselves from ourselves. so that these things can manifest in a real way in our lives. When people talk to each other, you know, it's really, you ever sit in a restaurant and listen to conversation going on? You know, people are talking through a veil of tension at each other. So maybe 10% of the conversation really reaches another person. You got to get through their tension. You got to get through your own tension in order to communicate. Well, the first person we have to communicate with is ourselves. We have to get free of ourselves. And I'm not saying people don't have good thoughts. They do. I have good thoughts and things. But I know for them to become reality, I have to truly get my mind quiet, my emotions quiet, and allow these things to manifest in my life. And you never know what they're going to attract and what extraordinary situation they're going to bring to one's life. Does anyone, I hope this is clear, I'm not trying to keep people from thinking wonderful things about life, just trying to get them quiet so these wonderful things can become a reality. It's not just spin or one's take on life, which, usually never becomes a reality. Does anybody else have a question? Would like to ask? I mean, this meditation class and the energy and the quiet and this deep sense of peace that manifests in this meditation and enables my words to come out of me the way they do. If I had to spend this class fighting everybody's tension and my own tension, it would sound like static on a radio. Does anyone else have a question they would like? This weekend's my birthday, and another year's cycle has come to an end. It's coming to an end. You've all been very much a part of this year's cycle, and I'm deeply grateful to each and every one of you. So thank you. Those of you that contributed to my birthday gift, I want you to know it enabled me to buy a really wonderful Ganesh that I'm going to have in the meditation. I mean, this thing is incredible. I was able to get with that birthday money. So it doesn't just go into my bank account, it really goes for something that hopefully not only will make my life better, but anyone who comes here and sits and meditates on the classes, here will benefit from. And this thing is really incredible. It's 35 inches high. It's like a meter high, and three-headed Ganesh with, it's really pretty incredible. Not terribly old, but beautifully done. And that was the birthday gift you all gave me. So thank you. I won't have it for about 10 days. It has to be shipped to me, but it'll come. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, as I've been announcing, there won't be a class on Sunday. I'm having a retreat this weekend. You know, if you can't make the retreat, it would be a good idea to maybe sit down at certain times when we're having classes and do your work. And you'll probably be able to, in some way, tune into what's going on. So God bless you all for being in this cycle, this year's cycle with me, for contributing to this incredible Ganesh that's going to be coming. Thank you all and bless you all. And you're very dear to me. Every one of you lives deeply in my heart. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.